Alright, today I'm going to show you what it's like at the airport, because I had somebody ask me, why do you got to sit at the airport, why do you got to do this? So I'm going to show you what the queue is, what it looks like at the waiting lot, and I'm going to take a ride from the waiting lot, show you how long it takes, what the ride looks like, and then you can see why I don't like sitting at the airport, and get a good glimpse of why they make us sit there, because you got to sit in the queue. But I'm going to explain it all to you, I'm going to show it all to you. So like and subscribe, guys, I do appreciate it. So, get out, make sure it's clean. Alright, so I'm going to show you Fort Lauderdale Airport. So look right there. That's what you're waiting on right there. That's the wait you're waiting on. 41 to 45 cars. Now let's see how many cars are actually in the waiting lot. And you can see right there. So that goes to show how many people are there. It'll probably be more by the time I get there. So I'm going to show you what it's like, why we get in a queue, what the queue looks like, and I'm going to show you what the waiting lot again looks like. I think I showed you before, but you're going to see it at daytime, see a little bit better, all the drivers hanging out, what it looks like, what we do or what they do while they're waiting for you to pick up you. Because I'm doing it today to show you, but I just drop people off and pick them up, and I don't get reservations anymore, so I'm not sitting there for a reservation, so I'm just not going to sit there. I know how to work the airport. I'm going to do it the same way. Now, when I do Uber Black, it might be a little different, but I'll be in a different area also. So, like and subscribe today. I'm going to show you what it's like at the airport, the queue, and what it looks like in the waiting room. So now, I'm coming from north on 95 to get to the airport. So now you can see the traffic and stuff you're going to have to deal with, most likely going to the airport. Depending on what area you're coming from. But the other day I took a guy from Pompano, and this is the route we took, and it was just like this. Actually, I think traffic was worse. It was later in the afternoon than it is right now. It's like 11:30. So I waited till this late because I know flights start landing around this time. Didn't want to get there too early to sit there forever for no reason. So I'm going to show you what the waiting lot, how we get in there. And this is the Fort Lauderdale airport. So you got to remember, every airport's different. Like Jacksonville's airport, you got waiting lots at Walmart. Tampa, they got it. It's right across the street by the mall. Then you got Orlando's is actually in the middle of the airport. Fort Lauderdale's is by the airport. And then you've got also Miami, which Miami's is actually, I forget where Miami's is, to tell you the truth. So now, the past few days at this airport, I've showed you with Premier, with XL, same tiers I got on now, how fast I drop somebody off and how easy I pick somebody else up. So now when I go to wait, people will be like, oh, well, you had Premier on, you had XL on. Okay, that's the same thing I do when I go to pick people up, so what's it matter? I'm not going to do regular Uber just to make it seem quicker. I'm leaving the same tiers on that I do when I go to pick people up, and I get them right away. But I'm going to show you how long it takes. We'll see what type of ride I get, and then we'll break it down and see if it's worth it and why I don't wait at the airport. When you're coming from that direction, you've got to go loop around to get to the waiting lot. I'm going to show you what that route is. I mean, if you don't drive for Uber, you probably will never use it, but you might find it interesting to know where we are when we can pick you up at, or when most people pick you up at Fort Lauderdale Airport. It ain't gonna be me, at least today it will be, but that's it. But I'll show you guys why I don't sit at the airport. Now, I did an episode on this is like part 2. This is to prove the fact why I don't sit at the airport. But I just thought, you know what, I want to show everybody a little bit more, just so you guys actually understand, and let's just see how it is, why it is. Because the airport, I'll be honest with you, when I first started, the airport wasn't bad. The rides were really good. Jacksonville was a pretty easy airport, so it wasn't too bad either. But these airports, when you got 100, 200 people waiting in the waiting lot, it's definitely not worth it. But I'll show you, especially when you could do a trick like I do, because the whole thought process is, if somebody's in my car, if nobody's in my car, I'm not making money. So I want to make money, I've got to have people in my vehicle. So the whole point of that is to do how I do, pick people up, drop them off, and then skip all the people and come to the front of the line. And honestly, Probably people still be like, oh, you shouldn't say that, Uber. But honestly, it should be like that because of the fact that I'm taking somebody to the airport. Because if it wasn't like that, people wouldn't really want to take nobody to the airport. Like if I wasn't going to be able to get in front of everybody, if the ride wasn't worth it and then I had to go sit in a waiting lot, probably wouldn't really do it half the time. But because I can do that, that's why I will do it. Otherwise, wouldn't even worry about the airport, because the airport's not always the most money. I mean, usually it is. It's usually pretty good trips, but they're usually long trips. And they're definitely usually going farther away from whatever area you're probably working at. And that's the difference. So that's why it's a good thing that Uber gives you priority, because of the fact that you're more likely, I know I am, take somebody to the airport. Even if it's just a little less, I'll do it just because I know I'll get a ride back from there. And trying to do Premier, trying to do XL. So sometimes it's a good boost, and then sometimes you're just wasting time. Now, some people might want to relax for a minute. We'll take a break. So I can understand that, but at the same time, I'm trying to make money. If I want to take a break, I'll just go back home or wherever I'm staying, or go somewhere else and sit somewhere. But, you know, everybody has their own things. I just think a lot of people, because they're new or whatever, they just see the fact that there's so many people there. Uber's telling you it's busy when nobody's even landing. They're all delayed. That's, you know, it's misinformation, that they don't have the correct information. They don't know exactly how to do it. So that's why I'm trying to show you guys. This is why I do it. This is how you do it. And this is the reason that I do it. Now, if you still don't think it works or don't want to do it this way, then, I mean, it's fine. But this is how I do it. So like and subscribe, and don't forget Gridwise. So let me show you that real quick. Now let's go look and see what Gridwise says. Gridwise says there's about 790, it's about 700 people each time, but you gotta look and see en route. See this 11 o'clock landed. So all those people are about ready. I don't know how busy that airport is when it comes to like getting out of there, like how crowded it can be. So it could take 15 minutes, could take 30 minutes from when they land to get their luggage to get out there to where they're ordered the ride. So every airport's different. I know Jacksonville's pretty easy to do, so it's not that big of a deal. It's easy to navigate. Orlando, I don't know if it's that busy. I know it can get crazy. And then you've got like Tampa's small too. So, you know, every airport's different. That's why you gotta learn how your airport is. A hard thing for me too is learning how airports are when I first go to them. Luckily, I've done all these airports, so I know how they work. Now, there might be times when I don't do it for a while, so I kind of forget exactly, but I have a good idea because I've done them all. Like, I've done every airport except for like Naples and Fort Myers and stuff. And then like maybe Pensacola. I don't even know if they got one out there, but far Panhandle. But I've done Gainesville Airport, you know, Daytona. I've done all of them. So been around the state of Florida. All right, so you're gonna come over here. It's like runway, diner. There's another diner back there. This is like 4th Avenue. So what you do is like Walgreens right there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go around. We're gonna go around. I'm gonna show you where it goes. And then this is where the waiting lot is. It's on that back side. So we're gonna follow the street. There's like that bridge. I think it's 595. You're going under it, and then you got to go around. And that waiting lot's that little section right there. I'll show you what that waiting lot looks like. But I'm gonna give you the whole journey to the waiting lot. And I might start doing this at every airport I go to, just to give you an idea what every airport looks like from our point of view, where we got to wait at, what it looks like. They're trying to give me a ride away from the airport, and I'm not doing it because I'm showing you the airport. And that ride wasn't worth it anyways. The reason why it's doing it is because I used the directions to guide me to the waiting lot, because I'd been to the waiting lot, but I wasn't 100% sure how to get to it. I only had to get to it after I dropped somebody off. Like to go here, just to go straight to the waiting lot, I'm not really good with that. So I had to click on it, and it gives me directions. That's why it looks like there's a trip when there's not, because that's like a destination type mode where you click on it like a surge zone or something, and it'll send you directions to it. But it's going to give you trips along the way, and it messes you up, but you don't gotta take them. I'm not, because I'm trying to show you guys something actually really good. But now you can see right here, this is 595. This is the road that takes you to the airport. You got all these like industrial complexes. Then you got the airport. It's like FedEx and all that. I ate some Skittles and it's like stuck in my throat. Like bad. Like I don't know why, but it's like stuck in my throat. It's like I can't breathe them, or like trying to cough it up. But you're gonna go under this bridge right. Oh, actually, sorry. I thought that was the turn. It's up here. I don't know why it was trying to. I couldn't even have went that way. So it curves like this. You got to exit right there, which sometimes is confusing trying to get out of here when I'm not going to the airport. But you're on the back side of the airport now. I'll show you the map in a second once I get around the corner. But see, you can see the airfield, and then you can see where I'm at now. This is the back side of it, and that's where you're at. So we're gonna pull up into the waiting lot. There'll be a bunch of people here. Maybe some of them will know who I am, maybe not. I mean, it's whatever. Nobody ever really says nothing to me, except for like through social media, but nobody ever really stops saying nothing. So maybe not that many people see it, but then again, people do see it. They might not watch it, but they've seen it. They've seen me on there. And I put stuff on everything. I got lost. But see, look, there's 61 to 65 people in the thing. She was like, yeah, we're trying to get your attention. I was like, yeah, I'm lost because I don't know where I'm going. I don't ever come here. And then when you come at night, it looks a lot different. But it gave me a comfort match, but it was like $6. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when somebody does a ride like $6, I think sometimes that's gonna be another driver trying to get you out the queue. I don't really care. I just want to show you guys how long it takes to do it. Because you got like 85 cars ahead, but that's like so many people you got in the waiting lot. It's just too much. When I could just literally drop somebody off and then pick them up, and I don't have to do all that. So that's why it makes sense to me to just sit there. Because what is the point of sitting here for hours if you don't have a reservation? Now, if you got a reservation, I understand it. Like I used to have reservations. You got 45 minutes. You got to sit in that. You got to sit in that waiting room, and you ain't got no choice. It's part of it. But they used to pay a lot more money, so it didn't matter. So that's why I would do it. But without a reservation, I'm not gonna come here and do it. But I'm just trying to show you guys what it looks like. So I forget even when I pulled in here, but I'll look at it in just a second. Now you'll see a lot of black vehicles, so you're gonna see like Uber Black. I understand that. Like if I had that, I'm gonna do the same thing. Like because you might have a private client, you're still gonna have to wait here, because it's commercial vehicles, so you're still gonna have to wait there. But look, you've got XOD, it moved it, but you got Comfort, you got XL. So those are the tiers that I'm on, right? So I could hit Uber, but I don't want to do Uber. I got Comfort. It's the same stuff I do when I come here. So that's the whole point of showing you how to do it. Now it says you're being prioritized. That's BS. Because everybody else is advantage mode, so how are you prioritized? When I wasn't advantage mode, I literally would get a ride. It would tell me, oh, you're not advantage mode, blah, blah, and literally get a trip 2 seconds later. Because I dropped somebody off. It doesn't matter. It's just one of those things that Uber wants to say. Now they do have a lot of like rules and stuff. Some of them I think you can't smoke, you can't do this. They got food trucks, which that one's kind of nice. They got food truck. Because I mean, I've been at Walmart in Jacksonville. You ain't got nowhere to eat. You ain't got nothing to eat. What if you are hungry? You got a reservation. So I understand that completely. So don't get it wrong when I say like people are stupid for sitting here. I don't mean it like that. I mean, I'm not going to wait here because it doesn't make sense. But if you have a reservation, then you ain't got no choice. It's where you got to wait. If you got a private client, it's where you got to wait. So you're going to be here anyway. So not everybody here is just waiting here. But I think the biggest thing is when you look at that and you see 70, 80 people, right? 61, 60. You see all those cars. What do you think? If you're new, what would you think? You would say, you know what? It's busy. Everybody else is there. I'm going to go. That's the problem. You think everybody else is there. It's busy, and it's not. But then when you go to Gridwise, like, let me see what Uber says. I hate when it does it. So now, oh, it's not going to tell me, is it? It don't let me do it. Yeah, it won't let me pull up the cars. Sometimes it would let you pull up the vehicles, then it'll let you pull up the. All right, here we go. See how it says flights? It says it's busy, right? 32 flights. It shows you the cars, which you already know. See how many are Uber? Most of those are going to be Comfort. Uber going to be the same. These are only electric vehicles. Premier SUV is going to be like those bigger vehicles, because mine's Premier, but it's not SUV because I got third row seat, but that'd be like a double XL, like Suburban Escalade. Then you got Uber XXL. See, that's like Suburban Escalade. This is me right here. That's like Suburban Escalade. That's me right here. That's gonna be like a Tesla.
then that's Comfort. So now if you're in Atlanta, you order Comfort Electric.
You might, well, at the airport you won't, but you would get you could get a Waymo, but you're not going to get one from the airport though. They don't do them anywhere. And in Miami, probably soon I have it too. But you can see, like, I've been here for a minute and there's like 91, 95 cars. But see, it's like 11:53. I've probably been here for 5 minutes. We'll say 5 minutes just to be safe, because it might have been longer, but it don't matter. So 5 minutes, and then I had to drive here, so that was like, say, 20 minutes. Say you're coming here, you're heading to the airport, you're not taking any rides, so you're almost at 30 minutes just to get here, and traffic could be worse, could take longer. But you deadheaded here because you're like, oh, it's busy, I want to come here. Or maybe you got a reservation. But then now, we'll see what type of ride we get, how long it takes to get that ride, when I could be driving around right now, picking up people, and then snag a ride that comes here, and then pick somebody up immediately. That's the whole point, is to show you how when you leave to go somewhere, when you're driving around picking up people, making money, and then you snag somebody to the airport, then you automatically get somebody from the airport. You're still moving, you're making money. But when you're sitting here, you're just chilling, if you don't have a reservation, if you don't have private clients, then it's kind of a waste of time. Like, you're literally just, you deadheaded here. And I did it before, so that's why I try to show us, like, I didn't know what I was doing either, so I had to learn it all. And there's still stuff I do, I make mistakes, I'm not perfect, but I know good enough reasoning why I do most stuff and how to do it, because Uber's going to tell you the stuff just because they want you here. Because look how many people they got. So they got all these people. Now all these drivers are probably doing Lyft and Uber, which, let's see what Lyft does. I'm not going to take a Lyft trip though, but let's see how many trips. It's got 56 to 60 drivers. I hate how it's got to connect to CarPlay when I'm not even doing it. But let me see. I don't know why it doesn't register. I'm in the queue. But see, now I could get a black. It's got me for black because I only got black on there. Turn it off. I almost want to do it, but I'm not going to, because I want to show you Uber. Now I forgot what I was doing. Let me change the ride types, because see, look, you do the ride types. I only got black right now, and I could do black with this vehicle without the commercial insurance. So now when you go back, look how many vehicles they got. Hey, it still don't show it. Well, it's because I'm offline. So you got 71 to 75, 76 to 80, and then 56 to 60. Now I don't know how many black drivers are here because I'm Premier, but Premier is probably the same thing. So you still got about the same amount of drivers are doing both. So most of the drivers, unless they got a reservation, they got Uber on, they got Lyft on. So whichever one pops up with a better ride first is probably what they're going to take, which makes sense. But if you have a reservation, obviously you're not. Or they might leave it on there and cancel the reservation. But I don't think most people would do that, because it does penalize you. You lose access to it. Like, I never did it, so I didn't lose access to it. It just doesn't give them to me anymore. Probably because I travel around so much, it gets confused. Like, I got a thing from Tampa the other day. Then I got a thing from Jacksonville again. Then I got one from Miami. So, and I've been in Fort Lauderdale forever, but they couldn't do me for Fort Lauderdale. They did me for Miami. So I don't know. So it's like 12, still sitting there, still the same amount of cars. So that goes to show, like, you still takes a while. Like, I've been here maybe 10, 15 minutes, but it took 20 minutes to get here. We'll say 15, so we'll say 30 minutes now. We'll give it, we'll shave off a little time just to make it look a little bit better. But, because that's what it'd take you to get here. But literally, it's not even changed. And then how many people are landed? See, when you go to Gridwise, see all these are landed, and it's 11:59. See, 11:30, these are all en route. They still ain't landed yet, and that's 30 minutes ago. But now they're not delayed, so they should be probably landing at that time. Say maybe these have already landed, but you're looking at 150, 300, 450. That's about 600. So you're looking at about 1,000 people at 11:30. How many of those people are going to order Uber? How many of those people got like a private ride? How many of those people order a taxi? And then how many of those people have a car here? And how many people have family picking them up? So I don't know what the percentage of people that order. I mean, mostly it's probably people that are traveling for business, which today is a Tuesday, so you're probably not getting as many people. It's usually like Mondays and Fridays, maybe Sundays, because they're trying to get to where they're going. I'm not saying people don't fly, but it's just not as, I mean, this day's not quite as busy either. But it's a bigger airport, so it's still busy. You still got tourists coming this season, so you still got people coming from business. That's why I went a couple times yesterday, because you had people doing it. But you got like 1,000 people. So how many of those are probably gonna order an Uber? And then you got how many people waiting? Like 100 people. So even if you say 1/10 of those people ordered an Uber, that might take 30, 45 minutes for all of us to do it. And that's just saying that people don't cancel the ride. They don't take a lift, like the drivers or even the riders. Like they don't take a lift. They don't decline the ride just because somebody doesn't take it. Somebody else might. Somebody else probably going to take it. So that's the thing, is somebody's going to take it at some point. So how many of those people ahead of you are going to go? But everybody's in advantage mode. You're not skipping. You're not prioritized. Everybody's just in the same boat. It just looks better. And you get 5% more, which is nothing, like 5 cents. So you just lowered the price, paid me more, and made it look like you gave me more money when you didn't. You just gave me what you would have gave me anyways. It's just all manipulated. It's just all psychological marketing tactics, to make it seem like they're doing you a favor when they're not. Which honestly, I think if they just did us the favors, they would get more out of us. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand the psychology around, let's screw the drivers to make more money when you could just pay a set rate, pay us a set amount, everybody be happy. I mean, you still have people that complain. So now it's like 12:08. You still got a whole bunch of people sitting in a waiting line. It ain't really changed much at all. I ain't got no requests, nothing. And you got like 1,000 people landing. But that goes to show, like, sitting here is really pointless. I mean, I've only been here 20 minutes, and then 20, so that's 40 minutes sitting here waiting for a ride, and I made $0 yet. So that's why I usually just go drive around and get because if you drive earlier in the daytime, you're going to get people, take them to the airport. Now if you take somebody at the airport at 6 in the morning, they're at first flight, you're obviously not going to get a ride. Now you might get an employee, I've done that, but you're not going to get a ride. So those early morning runs are basically just take people to the airport and then drive down the street and pick some people up somewhere else. But or you do like a private client, you just take them and then you turn it on when you leave. And I've done that, like take my mom to the airport, and then I would just drive around for a minute just because I was just like, I'm just going to try it out. There was surges or something, so I did that. But besides that, I mean, that's about it. The whole city's not even really that busy, because if you look at it, it's kind of dead today. Miami, but I mean, it's still lunchtime. It doesn't even really show like Jacksonville or nothing. So I don't work up there no more. That's probably why. That's where I used to work, all that whole area. Jack's Beach, Neptune Beach. It's been a while since, seems like forever since I've been there. So, you've got 50. You still got a lot of people here. All right, so it's 12:15. Got a few people left the queue. So either they got a ride or they left, one or the other, or they got a ride with Lyft. But it's 12:15, so it's literally what, 20-30 minutes or that I've been sitting in the waiting lot, and then 20 minutes. So it's been a while. I mean, we don't even have to count the drive here. We could just say, how long have I been sitting here? Still like almost 30 minit's, like 25 minutes, because I think I got here it's like 11:50 or 11:55. So now it's going down a little bit, but it's still 30 minutes or so. But I gotta check Gridwise. Let me see what Gridwise says again. It says all those en route. So I don't even know if en route means that they landed yet or not. Because now it's 12, so you got all these people landed too. I mean, you can go back to the. So you had 1,200 people land from 11, 11:30.
So you probably got 1,000. I don't think those numbers are quite accurate because the graphs shows different than what en route doesn't really account for the delays. But yeah, and then Uber's gonna tell you it's busy. It says I don't know why it's still over there at Port St. Lucie. Well, that's PBI. Yeah, it shows medium wait, 15 to 30 minutes. I've been here 30 minutes. So advantage mode, 19 flights coming in from 12 to 1. High earnings. How is it calculated? Oh, it's all BS. They just tell you it's busy, so you sit here like this because you're going to eventually get a ride. It's just a matter of when. Well, the rest of the city's not too crazy, but that's just because it doesn't show surges or doesn't show whatever doesn't mean it's not busy. But you could have seen, like, from Halloween how crazy busy it was. It was like the whole city was one big surge all night. But 4th of July will be that same way, and so will New Year's Eve. 4th of July and Halloween, though, are kind of more based on weather. If it's not raining, if it's nice. New Year's Eve does not matter because it's the end of the year. People are going out to party. They just want an excuse to go out and let loose. So they don't care if it's raining. They don't care if it's snowing. They don't care what it is. They're going out to do whatever they're going to do. So yeah, it's almost 12:30. Very many cars still ain't going. I told you it's a way see. I could have drove around and then got a ride, came here like I did yesterday. As soon as I started, the first ride I got was to the airport. Dropped him off, immediately got another ride before I even made it to this area, and then was gone and made, I think, what did I make yesterday? Let's pull it up. I can't remember off the top of my head what I made. It was like 15 and it was like $30. So I made $30 within like not that long. No, the first ride was $22. So you gotta think it was at what was that, 324 or 410. I pick up another one, and then at 4:30, so within an hour, like I'm sitting here, I had already made 8 or 9, 17 and 9 would be 26. I already made like $49 in an hour that I've sat here. I made like $49. And you're just constantly moving. And I had to do Comfort last night, so now they're slowly starting to move Premier, but Premier probably ain't gonna be as busy. But then again, I don't know. So that's what the queue looks like, though. And then you gotta be in the waiting lot to get in the queue. Now there's places like Tampa where you'll get in the queue when you hit that little where Cheesecake Factory, that little mall right there, there's like restaurants. You'll hit that queue on the streets. PBI, you'll hit it over there on the backside by the gas stations. I got a ride from the airport, fill up with gas, not even realize I had it on, or at least because I had Comfort on, because it doesn't do Premier at the airport. Miami won't do it. Here you got to be in the queue. Jacksonville, you just got to get off 95. You're right there at Walmart. So you can come on the backside. There's a gas station over there, racetrack, I think it is. That would sit you in the queue, so you don't have to necessarily, they don't have a waiting lot. They did make a little thing for you to go in now separate to get picked up once they had that fire at the airport. Daytona has a waiting lot across the street. PBI's is across the street, but you still can pick up around the corner. You could drive around circles or sit at Wawa and get it. So people do hide at different spots. But most airports, some of them, we'll see as I go to all the different ones, because I'm going to do XL, I'm going to do Premier if they got it, and I'm going to do Lyft Black at the airports, but I won't do Uber Black at the airports, because Uber Black you have to get permits, and that's like $2,000 per airport, and that's a lot of money. I'm not going to pay that to travel around to do the airport for 2 weeks. I don't have that kind of money. I do not have that kind of money. Unless somebody wants to pay for it for me, call that, but yeah, I can't afford it. I was thinking it was $250, and I was going to do like Atlanta. I wasn't going to do here, but I was going to do like Miami. I was going to do Orlando, Atlanta, DC. But now DC, I might have to pay to work in DC. I'm gonna figure that out as I get closer. I think it's like 650. But DC will be worth it because you got politicians, you got a lot of Uber Black there. But there's gonna be a lot of competition. It's gonna be like Miami, you got a lot of competition. But I don't really care about competition. I just care about making some money. So I know a lot of people do care about competition, but I think competition's good, and there's always gonna be plenty for everybody. But you know, whatever. So you got 46 to 50 people now. So it's slowly kind of dipping down, but it is 12:40. So I've been here for almost 50 minutes. So that goes to show why I don't sit at the airport. And then this is a slower day, yes, but doesn't mean if it was a busier day, this whole airport would be full and you'd still wait the same amount. Like, you might get lucky once in a while and come in and sit here for 15 minutes and get a ride. But I know here, Orlando, all those places, you're gonna wait. Now Jacksonville, I've sat there for like 20 minutes and got rides because the queue's not as big. So that's the ride I get. We'll see if it gives it to us just to take the first ride, and it probably won't. But you gotta look. See, I'll request take it. But that would have been like $15 because I've waited an hour. So it goes to show. I was just gonna take it so people would be like, "Oh, you were just not taking it." I tried to take it, wouldn't give it to me. But you can see, it's still got a lot more people. It's going down, but I just tried to take it just so you'd see, like, it wasn't me like, oh, I'm just holding off to try to prove a point. No, I tried to take it, didn't give it to me. But even if it looks good like that, it was what, $40, and it was like 29 miles or something, right? But I sat her for an hour, so you're only getting half of that because you sat her for an hour, and then it takes an hour to get there, so 2 hours. So you literally making like $12 an hour, $8.50 an hour. Like, you're not really making that much money. That's the whole point of not sitting here unless you got a reservation. But usually if you're sitting here because of a reservation, it's a good reservation, and you're not even really going to sit there that long. Like, I've sat here longer than what a reservation would cost you to sit here. But I've had reservations where people literally landed, and but you have to check too, because sometimes Uber gets stuff messed up. I had that happen a couple times. Like, plane hadn't even landed, or I hadn't even left the airport yet, but they literally got off the plane, just had a backpack, and literally got in the car. So some people out of there in 10 minutes, some people it would take 30 minutes. So that's how I kind of gauged it. Sometimes you get 10 minutes, sometimes it'll be 30. But it's 12:45, so I've been here almost an hour, and that's the only ride request I got. The only one, and it was kind of decent in a sense, but not for how long I waited. But I could have got that same thing if I dropped somebody off. So that's the whole point. Like, even if it was a busier day, like a Friday or something, there'd be more people here, and you still have to wait. Now, there's gonna be times where you probably come in here, sit here 10 minutes and get a ride. That does happen. Maybe even too late at night when a lot less drivers are out and about, or they're already left because they got a ride, whatever, right? So there are exceptions to the rule, but to come here all the time and do this, it's not worth it. It's easier just to drive around, pick somebody up. You're gonna snag somebody at some point. Take them to it, get a ride when you leave, and then you're still making money everywhere else, because a lot of the rides are gonna be long like that. I'm going all the way to Boca. I was going all the way to Boca, and that's 49 miles, or it's not 49 miles, so it's like 30 miles, right? So 30 miles, then I have to come back. I mean, I could work my way back down. Boca would be pretty busy. It's knocking down, but I'd rather get a Premier ride or XL ride than a Comfort ride, because Comfort usually doesn't pay that good. See, it is 1 o'clock. There's a few coming, but it's 1 o'clock. I've literally been here for over an hour waiting, and I had that one request and it didn't give it to me. So that goes to show, sitting in the airport, it's not really worth the time. We'll see what I get when it comes. Like, it shows $6.96, but that was yesterday. I haven't made no money today, but it's crazy. So I'm slowly getting there, but it's almost 1:05, and still nothing except for that one ride that didn't give me. So I'm almost tired of sitting here, but this is where they get you, is when you sit here for so long, you ain't got no choice but to sit here because you're like, I done wasted, I got this much time invested that if I leave now, it don't make no sense. But I almost want to leave because it's just not worth it. But we're going to sit here until I get a ride, and then we'll see. Whatever ride pops up, we'll take it because that's where they get you at. But that just shows the fact that it's just not worth sitting at the airport when you could go somewhere else, unless you got a reservation. And look what I get. It's almost like might as well just take it to get out of here. But it's just not worth it. $11. And that's why people complain about, oh, look what Uber sent me, because of how long you sat there. I accepted a better paying ride before and it didn't give it to me. I'm at the point where if I sit there any longer, I'm still losing money. I'm better off just take it, cut my losses, and go and actually drive around and make some money. So, but that goes to show, like, sitting at the airport, it's not worth it. Like, I want to go drive around, pick somebody up, take them to the airport, and then if I got that same ride, big deal, because I just dropped them off. I'm not losing anything. But now I've sat there for an hour, so I literally made $5 because I'm not going to drive them that far, which is great, but I didn't make any money. And then I tried to get a better paying ride, it didn't give it to me. And then, you know, it's whatever. But that just reinforces the fact that, like, you've seen the rides I tried to take and only got that other option. I could have said no and I took it, but what, I'd have sat there 20 minutes and maybe got a $20 ride, maybe a $30 ride. I still would have made about the same, a little bit more, still wouldn't have been worth it. Now I just pick them up, drop them off, and then I head out and go make some money driving around, because I got bills I gotta pay. I gotta pay for the Airbnb or hotel and all that stuff. So just goes to show, like, sitting at the airport is not worth it. You got a reservation, you got a private client, it's totally different. But to sit there and wait to see what Uber's gonna give you with all those other people, it's just not worth it. And that's why I show time after time how easy it is just to drop off, pick up, and keep it moving, and you're still working, you're still making money. And the only good thing too is I got to use the bathroom, so dropping him off pretty close makes it easy. But it's just crazy that you know, that's why people complain about it. But that's what you get for sitting there for that long. I just did it just to show you guys. I was honestly thinking I'd get like unicorn, everybody be like, see, look, it's worth it. But I accepted the first ride before that, didn't give it to me, and that was better than this one, and that was like 20 minutes ago. And then I just took that ride, didn't even want it, and it gave it to me. But just to show that it wasn't like I was trying to do this or that, I just, you know, could have been pickier and maybe got a better ride, but I could have sat there for another 20 minutes. So that's the issue. That's what you run into. But that's why drivers should not sit at the airport. So get out, make sure it's clean.